Good day, listeners. When businesses rely on technology, support is non-negotiable, and downtime can impact operations, safety, and client trust. Today, we talk about Instacom Support Center and how we ensure our customers and clients get the help they need when they need it. Today, we talk to Johnny White, Director's Operations Director, Instacom. One of the things that I think we want to talk about today is why is a 24/7 support center so important in business operations? And I think more importantly, within where Instacom is, because Instacom is not just about business operations, but we deal with a lot of mission critical environments. Give us a little bit of your insights on 24/7 support.
Thank you, Roland. Yeah, a large number of our clientele is mission critical clients such as security companies, security in the security industry and emergency services. A 24-hour support structure is essential for such emergency services and security. I think when clients encounter technical issues outside regular hours, which is business hours, Instacom 24/7 immediate support allows them to stay productive rather than waiting for the next business day. So yeah, Instacom exists with a 24/7, 365-day support, like the norm within the security and emergency services, better known as a control room. In our environment, it's a support center. Technical issues can occur at any time of the day, and even a brief outage can cause disruption in operations, whether it's life-threatening or not. And that can hamper your productivity during the day. Around-the-clock support ensures that problems are addressed immediately, reducing costly downtime for our clients. And at the end of the day, the clients can see the return of investment with regards to 27 support at any given time. And also beneficial, many of the clients operate across multiple time zones. So 24/7 support ensures that international clients or remote teams can get assistance regardless of the local time in South Africa. And clients expect from us quick, reliable service when technical issues affect our clients and users, like network downtime or system failures. Our 24/7 support, having support available at all times, helps resolve problems quickly and efficiently and keep your clients happy. Customer satisfaction is what Instacom strives for.
Yeah. Well, we a lot of time talk about the culture of our business. And one of the areas is customer satisfaction over profits and profits over process. A lot of time, if you work in finance, it's the other way around. It's process before profits, profits before customer satisfaction. But the reality is that that's where everything starts. And our focus has always been customer satisfaction, customer first, even if it costs us money. It has cost us a lot of money sometimes to make sure that the customer experience is where it's supposed to be. And one of the things that I remember many years ago, we had quite a big tender, and there was 9 security companies part of this tender. And within that relationship, we had a lot of challenges because it's new technology, not just to the customer requiring it, but also to the security companies now that's forced into employing and deploying services digitally. And, we had to really bend backwards, not just to train them on how to use it, but, when you implement Instacom, it changes the way you do business. And if you don't have someone that understands the operational portion of this, it is a problem. Luckily, Johnny has joined our team many years ago, and actually Kobus, our CEO, always says Johnny was a client before, and he was such a pain in the butt. It would be better for us to employ him to rather than have him as a customer. But the reason for that is because you've actually been part of so many different types of operations in your lifetime, from security to EMS to police services, etc. How does that knowledge actually give you a little bit of a toolbox to do what you do?
I think to sit on the other side of the industry now with regards to Instacom, I grew with Instacom for nearly 10 years and was part of the development of the Instacom throughout the years. In the security industry, we had national key points that we looked after within South Africa. And the scope of work that we encountered every time, the first call at that stage was phone Instacom and see how we can resolve the deliverables with regards to the scope of work, and we built the system. And now we can actually sit on the other side and implement standards on national key point standards for our clients, because the basis of the Instacom was built on that.
Yeah. And I mean, the experience that you have in what a lot of our customers experiences on a daily basis actually just helps us as a company grow, because you understand their pain, and it's such an important portion of a position that you have and fill in within Instacom. So maybe one of the things I'm sure many guys wonder about is how do you position such a team to be able to support the issues that comes in from customers, and what happens behind that call when a customer phones in and has a challenge?
So our 24 support team consists of our customer care agents that are 24/7 deployed in our support system, and we've got 4 customer care agents per shift, which are 3 dedicated to local and 1 international that supports Africa and the different time zones. We've got a very efficient ticketing system, so the client doesn't necessarily need to phone in. As soon as they send an email to our customer care address, it will create a immediate ticket, which gets deployed or displayed in our support call center. We strive to serve the clients within an hour to get a resolution, and thereafter we've got a very sufficient and escalation process. If the call center can't resolve that ticket within an hour, we've got a second, third, and fourth person on standby that gets escalated immediately. And but our strive is to resolve the ticket within that hour.
I think Johan used to say, what gets measured gets managed.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big portion of what you just explained.
Yes, so we've got a very effective system actually within our business, and from a management point of view, we look at everything that goes wrong, not necessarily anything that goes right, because if something goes right, you don't have to look after it, but if something goes wrong, we immediately want to know about it. And as you mentioned, we as directors, or the CEO is involved in the business at any given time, and if there's a problem and it gets escalated, we resolve it with at any given time.
So obviously we deal with some of the challenges coming in. Give us some examples of what we deal with on a daily basis.
Instacom supplies an all-in-one comprehensive solution on a single device, and the most common queries are pertaining to network downtime in remote areas where we will struggle with load shedding. I think that's one of the biggest challenges within South Africa, and that's very common, where the network towers will go down for a small time, and we will assist with a third-party roaming SIM to mitigate any downtime. And we also develop our software solution that we can supply 99% of the time to resolve any software-related technical issues by logging into the devices on our secure MDM, which is a mobile device management system, and therefore that secures our support team with efficient resolutions on problems on a device. As it's also common, the turnaround of staff within the industry, in the security industry, is very high. So, however, we conduct very professional training on our sites to ensure that the end user knows exactly what they need to do with the devices. Sometimes they do fail with new employees to continue with the training, and they will use the wrong application to execute whatever they need to do.
How important is it to have a champion, as we call them, in a customer's environment?
I don't think that the end user really knows what a champion value to their business is. But to train a value or a champion to add the value like Instacom support does to their business is so efficient, because you can immediately intervene, do immediate fault finding and resolution within minutes that it takes you to actually direct the query to our support center, and the value add within your own business. I think it's very important to have a champion in your business.
Yeah, I think in the past, a lot of customers didn't necessarily have digitization.
Yeah.
And the moment you don't have that, we deal with a very manual process. So the skilled individual that you actually employ from an operational perspective is not necessarily trained on a technical side of things. And I see it so much, when you go to the customers and you go to talk to them, they have to either upskill existing guys, or they've got to employ staff with higher skill levels from a technical perspective. I don't think you can employ any IoT solution without having that type of skill inside of your business. Something simple like a computer that doesn't want to print. If you don't have skill inside, you've got to phone someone, there's a call out, it's downtime for you as a business. It makes such a big difference in our clients' environments.
I think if you look at the the companies that's been long in existence within the industry, they are used to set ways, and that is a radio is to report on, OB book is to capture information, and that is the mindset that we as Instacom has changed within the industry. To say you don't need to have those, we give you one device that can actually do your patrols, that can actually communicate, that can actually do checklists, that can actually make your life very much easier than the old ways of occurrence books and paperwork.
Yeah. And obviously, if you look at some of the other industries, even mining or construction is also an industry where it's a lot of men in those industries. Men aren't necessarily focused on detail as a standard, and they don't necessarily care about technology because it's a rough terrain. But the reality is that when you have staff that's a little bit skilled in the technology side of things, it does make a big difference in your efficiency. If you've got information to management to make decisions on the go, that's when you really make a difference, and it impacts your profitability as a company. But that means you got to employ skilled individuals, and so it's not just by employing them, but it's also training them. Which brings me to the next question. So we've got support guys, we bring them on board. How do we give them the right tool to be able to actually do what they're supposed to do in looking after our customers? How do we equip them for what they need?
Yeah, you already touched on that, and I think the comprehensive training program, but Instacom as a business, we're starting with the onboarding of employees. There's a saying that you need to play the right player in the right position, and that's what we strive for, is to identify the correct individual that will fit into the support, that's got the comprehensive skill level with technology, and understand the seriousness of our business. So providing detailed onboarding that covers system and common issues, escalating procedures and our company policies is the backbone of where we start with the onboarding. And then continuous education is a priority within our business. Regular workshops, webinars, refresher courses, and the agents stay up to date with the new tools, the features and troubleshooting techniques is very beneficial within our business. And I think the cross-contamination between the departments, we've got a well-established development department and IT department, and we cross contaminate within our business skill sets. 90% of our employees started off in the call center, and we as a business believe investing in our own people, and it starts off in the support center, and that's how we develop the guys to move up in the rankings to the next departments. Information sharing between the departments is very, very beneficial for us as a business.
Interesting enough, so many years ago, we now 150 people. Many years ago, myself and Quibus were the only two. And we are going to, make this happen. Johan and Nullis was up in PE. So we were on this side, and we would go see a new customer, and they will ask us to set up their mic and speakers in their either control room or a management platform. Yeah, we will take 3 hours. It is so also is killing ourselves to get to. We just struggled so much. Eventually, we got a IT guy on call, and he would charge us 600 Rand per call out. And he literally gets there, takes him about 1 minute, and he sets his computer up to do what we've been trying to do for hours. And then we realized this whole technology thing that we're getting involved in, we need someone. And funny enough, Francois, which is now our product director, which we will definitely talk to him also in part of our season. He was our first support individual. And so we literally employed him so that he can help us set up mic and speakers. And now, close 15 years later, he's the director of Instacom within product.
Yeah.
So there's definitely opportunity within our company. I think it's a big portion of our focus. We try and grow our staff members. We allow them to grow inside of our company. And the more we grow, the more opportunity we create for our staff. And the same way, if you look at upskilling staff and employees, customers dealing with big workforces, regardless of industry, have to understand that you need to bring in that type of skill and education. And it is a constant because it changed a lot. So one of the other things that I'm sure we want to hear about is how could you tell us maybe a story of something that happened that you made a big difference, or the support structure made a big difference in one of our clients' lives?
Yeah, I can actually refer to something that happened actually not so long ago. In 2 weeks back, I think the incident occurred where we had an incident where one of our VIP clients that resorts in the CIT cash and transit industry, they left one of the access devices on top of the CIT van, and the driver drove off with it, realizing 30 kilometers away from the depot that the device was actually on top of the van. And they immediately contacted our support center, and the guys put the GPS location of the device on, and as you see, it was actually traveling on the N1 towards Pretoria site, and when the guys took an off-ramp, the device fell from the roof and it landed next to the road. The guys actually tracked it, and the depot manager drove to the location, walked in the grass, and they actually picked it up unharmed, lying next to the highway. Lucky for them. And there's many stories. There's another one where a cable theft occurred within Ekurhuleni, and our clients. The advantage of this is the cable thieves took our device because they only thought it was a two-way radio, and they phoned our support, and we could trace the device to the warehouse where the stolen goods were with our device, and six suspects were arrested immediately and detained for cable theft. So there's a lot of success stories within our business from a support side that ended up as a good recovery or good success with the race made.
Yeah, that's amazing. It literally is the reason why we get out of bed in the morning. We really do make a difference, as Instacom. One of the other stories that I remember, probably about 2 years ago, we got a WhatsApp one morning on the international group, which Louis, our regional from Free State, shared, where an individual just said, "Guys, you saved my life last night." Not because he was in any danger, but he had a heart attack. And because he had our device, he pressed the panic button and the duress functionality, allowed people to come and assist, and he's alive for the next day on the back of that. So it is nice to hear those type of stories. It gives us a purpose as a company, and it's definitely part of our culture, building relationships and driving successes and working with our customers to grow and move forward. Looking ahead, obviously, you can't just stay stuck in your ways like we talked about. How do we evolve? How do we stay on top of it moving forward?
I think Instacom is striving to keep up with the growing demand and vision of the companies, and with our interaction with our clients, we ensure that we keep up with the growing in the certain areas of our company, whether it is in mining, whether it is in security, whether it is in health and safety. We continuously engage with the growing demand of the industry on the outside, and especially in Africa, where our sales and our development team are working currently. We are striving to invest in growing Instacom in that areas with our knowledge currently, in that we're executing in South Africa. And like I always say, why do we want to invent the wheel again? It's already around. We can take our knowledge and our previous experience with our company and take it into the international platforms.
Yeah, very interesting. That is Johnny White, Director at Operations for Instacom. Thank you very, very much to come and spend some time with us today in your busy schedule, as per normal. We'll definitely talk to you again. Thank you
very much for the opportunity.
Thanks.
I really appreciate it.